Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we are here for part 6 of a 138-part series of this, the Alone with Bukowski playlist here on Strip Coverlet, as we journey play by play, poem by poem through as the trash men make their way around outside. You get so alone at times that it just makes sense. You get so alone at times that what just makes sense? Well, if I have to tell you, you'll never know. And this is from Bukowski, a poem called Trash Can Lives, and it is paired with a poem that I think will possibly be a bit off-putting, a bit of a mystery, especially coming off of part 5 of this series, and it may seem that this poem would be better suited for that. Just realized something. Give me 1 second here. Just absolutely titillating, entertaining, I'm sure. But, so, we're pairing Trash Can Lives by Charles Bukowski with a poem called I Think Continually of Those Who Were Truly Great by Stephen Spender. The Bukowski poem Trash Can Lives reads as such. Trash Can Lives. The wind blows hard tonight, and it's a cold wind, and I think about the boys on the row. I hope some of them have a bottle of red. It's when you're on the row that you notice that everything is owned, and that there are locks on everything. This is the way a democracy works. You get what you can, try to keep that, and add to it if possible. This is the way a dictatorship works too, only they either enslave or destroy their derelicts. We just forget ours. In either case, it's a hard, cold wind. And the Spender poem reads as such. I think continually of those who were truly great. I think continually of those who were truly great, who from the womb remembered the soul's history, through corridors of light where the hours are suns, endless and singing, whose lovely ambition was that their lips, still touched with fire, should tell of the spirit clothed from head to foot in song, and who hoarded from the spring branches the desires falling across their bodies like blossoms. What is precious is never to forget. The delight of the blood drawn from ageless springs, breaking through rocks in worlds before our earth, never to deny its pleasure in the simple morning light, nor its grave evening demand for love. Never to allow gradually the traffic to smother with noise and fog the flowering of the spirit. Near the snow, near the sun, in the highest fields, see how those names are fetid by the waving grass and by the streamers of white clouds and whispers of wind in the listening sky, the names of those who in their lives fought for life, who wore at their hearts the fire's center. Born of the sun, they traveled a short while toward the sun, and left the vivid air signed with their honor. Heavy, right? A couple heavy poems. But why not pair a poem called I Think Continually of Those Who Were Great with Beasts Bounding Through Time, where we talk about Van Gogh and Hemingway and Celine and Faulkner and Burroughs and Mailer, Lorca. Why not pair that with Shakespeare and Beethoven? Why not pair that with that poem? Calm down, we'll get there. Spender uses this phrase, whose lovely ambition was their lips still touched with fire, should tell of the spirit clothed from head to foot in song. Spender talks of fire and of clothing and of, classically, the way you would imagine goodness to be warm. There is no real warmth in Bukowski's poem. There is a cold, hard wind, and the boys being alone on the row. And those lips still touched with fire, the only fire those lips will be touching in Bukowski's poem is a bottle of red. Spender talks about, I think continually of those who were great. What is that? I remember those who were great. We even have the phrase remember, right? The word remember pops up. Who from the womb remembered the soul's history, through corridors of light where the hours are suns. Through corridors of light where the hours are suns. Far out. Pretty precious line there. Versus Bukowski's line, we just forget hours, talking about the trash can lives. To continually think is to remember. Contrasted with those people we might forget, the trash can lives. And we just forget ours. We don't kill them. We don't enslave them. We just forget them. How romantic. But here is perhaps where we best learn about Bukowski, through this pairing of poems. Bukowski mythologizes the lowlifes, mythologizes the also-rans. Bukowski mythologizes the losers, the outcasts, those whom we might be best to forget, while continually thinking of the greats. Bukowski shows us life as it should not be, not life as we would wish to have it. Much poetry is convinced that it should show you life as we would want it, life as we would have it, life as it would be wrapped in a neat little ribbon and presented to you on a birthday. Bukowski gives us poetry in the same way that anti-heroes give us compelling stories. Bukowski gives us poetry in the same way that anti-heroes make for compelling stories. It is not black and white, it is gray. It is messy, it is dirty, and there's a lot of things that should not be but continue to be. There's a lot of things in life that we would like to forget, but guess what? While we forget, someone else is thinking continually of them. Bukowski gives us a type of poetry that is counterintuitive to the definition set forth by many good academic types, by many people with bleeding hearts and lots of feelings. He gives us a type of poetry that spits in the face of that. And there are a lot of people who are just too goddamn precious to appreciate that.